All right, America, let's talk elections. It's that special time every 4 years where we pretend to care about swing states and eat our weight in red, white, and blue cupcakes. But beneath the flag-waving and political ads that could make a used car salesman blush, there's a system at work. And frankly, it's a system that's more convoluted than a season finale of Westworld. We're talking, of course, about the US election process. It's a wild ride of primaries, caucuses, and enough political jargon to make your head spin. But fear not, dear citizen. We're here to break it down, one confusing bit at a time. Think of it like this. The US election is like a giant game show. There are contestants, candidates, prizes, the White House, and a whole lot of rules that seem made up on the spot. But instead of cheesy prizes, what's at stake is the future of the country. No pressure, right? So buckle up, Buttercup. We're about to dive headfirst into the wonderful, wacky world of US elections. Now, you might be thinking, John, why should I care about this stuff? I'm just trying to survive on instant ramen and avoid getting into political arguments with my Uncle Frank on Facebook. And listen, I get it. Politics can feel about as appealing as a root canal without anesthesia. But here's the thing. Understanding how elections work is important, like really important. It's about more than just picking a president every 4 years. It's about having a say in the decisions that affect your life, from healthcare to education to whether or not pineapple on pizza should be a crime. Spoiler alert, it should. When you understand the rules of the game, you can actually start to play it. You can make informed decisions about who to vote for, what issues matter to you, and how to make your voice heard. And who knows, you might even be able to school Uncle Frank at the next family barbecue. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say the Electoral College in the room. This is where things get really interesting, and by interesting I mean head-scratchingly confusing. You see, in the US, we don't directly elect our president, I know, right? It's like finding out wrestling is fake. Instead, we have this thing called the Electoral College, which is basically a group of people, 538 to be exact, who cast the actual votes that determine the winner. Each state gets a certain number of electoral votes based on its population. Think of it like a giant game of Risk, where states are the territories you're trying to conquer with your army of electors. Section 4, Swing States, the battleground where every vote counts, maybe. Now here's where it gets even wilder. Because of the Electoral College, some states are more important than others. These are the swing states, my friends, the battlegrounds where elections are won and lost. Remember that game of Risk we talked about? Swing states are like the territories with the most bonus points. They're the ones that can swing the entire election in one direction or another. Think of it like this. California is like that friend who always votes Democrat no matter what. And Texas, well, they're basically glued to the Republican side. But states like Ohio, Florida, and Pennsylvania, they're the wild cards, the ones who keep everyone guessing until the very end. Section 5, a history of the Electoral College from founding fathers to face palms. So how did we end up with this system anyway? Well, blame it on the founding fathers. Back in the 1700s, they were a little skeptical of letting the people directly elect the president. They worried about mob rule and all that jazz. So they came up with the Electoral College as a compromise. It was a way to give states some power in the election process, while also, theoretically, preventing a completely unqualified candidate from taking office. Of course, the founding fathers probably didn't anticipate things like gerrymandering, voter suppression, and the rise of social media. But hey, nobody's perfect, right? Section 6, the 2024 showdown Harris versus Trump Round 2 Electric Boogaloo. Fast forward to 2024 and we've got ourselves a rematch for the ages, Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. It's like Rocky versus Drago, but with more Twitter feuds and less oiled up muscles. This election is about as high stakes as it gets. We've got issues like climate change, economic inequality, and the very future of democracy hanging in the balance. And let's not forget the elephant, or should I say donkey, in the room, the Electoral College. Will it be a deciding factor once again? Will we see another candidate win the popular vote but lose the election? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be a wild ride. So grab your popcorn, America, and get ready for the show. Just don't blame me if you end up throwing it at the TV.